In Volume 1 of the Video Encyclopedia of Pool Practice, or VEP, Bob Jewett and I present many useful drills to help you develop and improve your draw stroke. In this video, I demonstrate a fun challenge drill from VEP dealing with getting maximum draw quality at controlled speeds. I will also look at how a super hard break cue tip compares to a soft playing tip in terms of how well they can generate soft draw. Remember, in a previous video, I showed how a hard tip can do just as well as a soft tip with power draw shots. But with long power draw, it is actually better to cue slightly above the miscue limit per the link in the video description. Here, the focus is on finesse speed with maximum backspin as close to the miscue limit as possible. Here's the drill. With the cue as level as possible, the goal is to hit the object ball straight up table and get the cue ball to draw back to the end cushion without the object ball reaching the same cushion. Start with the object ball close to the rail and mark the current position with a coin. From here, it is very easy to pull the cue ball back without moving the object ball very far. Every time you succeed, move the coin farther up table to see how high you can go while still getting the cue ball but not the object ball to the rail. It starts getting a lot harder as you move the ball higher. This one doesn't count because I don't hit low enough or with enough speed to draw the cue ball to the rail. Here, I use a little too much speed and the object ball reaches the rail. Remember, you need to stop the object ball short of the cushion. I need a slightly lower tip position with a little less speed to succeed from here. If you hit the shot very straight, you might need to move the cue ball to the side as the object ball approaches. If you are really pushing the limit, you should miscue periodically during the drill. After many tries, I was finally able to succeed from this coin position, barely. I'm confident that this object ball position is at the limit of what is possible on this table with a near level cue. Now let's look at some important effects. First, with this drill, you are not allowed to elevate the back of the cue. With an elevated cue, you can get good backspin with less cue ball forward speed. This gives what is called quick draw. See the link in the video description to see when and why this technique is useful. With elevation, it is easy to succeed at the level cue limit position. The object ball doesn't even come close to the rail. It is also easy to push the limit farther up table. One useful tip for being more successful with the drill is positioning the cue ball as close as possible to the object ball. When the cue ball is farther away, more backspin is lost on the way to the object ball unless more speed is used. The advantage of being farther away is you can use a longer and smoother stroke to more easily achieve the draw with less effort. But the closer the cue ball is to the object ball, the less speed you will need to get the required draw, making it easier to limit object ball motion. With the cue ball really close like this, you can get more draw, but it can be more difficult to be accurate and consistent with the tip position and stroke speed. With the cue ball too close to the object ball, it is difficult to avoid a double hit. So you'll need to play around with what cue ball object ball distance works best for you. Now let's see if a really hard tip can do as well as a soft tip with the limit position of this drill. I started with a 12.4 Predator Revo playing cue with a Victory soft tip. Now I will try a Predator BK Rush break cue with a phenolic-like BK hybrid tip. Remember, in a recent video, I showed that this hard tip can create just as much power draw as the soft tip. After many tries, this is the best I was able to get with this really hard tip. The speed could have been a hair slower, but I don't think I could have kept the object ball from hitting the cushion. So with this drill, the soft tip does have a slight edge over the super hard tip. Remember, you're not allowed to elevate the cue to try to cheat the drill. Although a super hard tip like this makes the cue ball jump, so elevating is not an effective cheat after all. Driving the cue ball forward with the jump robs some of the backspin, so more speed is required to draw to the rail. Again, the cheat is not good for a break cue with a super hard tip. Remember, with a soft tip on a playing cue, it is easy to cheat the drill with cue elevation. As shown in my recent videos, the super hard tip does fine with long power draw shots, but it does not do very well with elevated shots like masse or elevated draw. Here are the 5 best shots I was able to achieve with the draw drill using the soft and super hard tips, shown side by side. Again, the soft tip does offer a slight advantage with this type of shot, where you need finesse draw. With the hard tip, even placing the cue ball a little closer to the object ball, I was still not able to beat the soft tip performance, although it was close. The miscue limit for the soft tip was a hair lower, allowing me to use a slightly lower tip position to impart a little more backspin and use a little less speed. Give the drill a try to see how well you can do with your equipment. Be aware that your results might differ from mine based on table cloth and cushion conditions. The drill is a lot tougher on a table with bouncy cushions and fast and slick cloth. You can also use the drill to compare any shafts, tips, or chalks you think might have different draw performance. It doesn't matter how good or bad your stroke is. If you take enough attempts and push the miscue limit, you will eventually get maximum possible spin for each test. It just might take you longer if your stroke is not very reliable or consistent. But your tests and comparisons can be just as valid as anybody else's, even from a pro or a robot. I hope you have fun with the drill, and I hope it helps you bust myths out there concerning different tips, shafts, and chalks having different performance. Results-oriented drills like this are the best way to find factual answers and dispel alternative facts. Good luck with your game from Dr. Dave.